Imagine spending your entire childhood watching someone who should have been your father pretend you didn't exist. Imagine being introduced, not as his daughter, but as a friend's kid. Then imagine that same man, after 18 years of silence, turning to you and saying, "I want you to call me Dad." What happened next left him completely speechless. If you've ever believed that respect has to be earned, not demanded, then you're going to love today's story. Make sure to like the video, subscribe for more emotional Reddit revenge stories, and let's jump into one of the coldest, quietest comebacks I've ever heard. Some wounds don't bleed. They just sit quietly inside you for years. Invisible. Growing heavier every birthday, every holiday, every school event where everyone else had a dad standing beside them. This story isn't about explosive revenge. It's about something much more powerful. Making someone experience, for just a single moment, the loneliness they spent years forcing onto someone else. I was born from an affair. My biological father already had a wife, a family, children. My mom was the woman he cheated with, and I was the consequence of choices I never had any control over. His family knew I existed, but I was never part of that family. Not really. Growing up, seeing him wasn't normal. It wasn't every weekend. It wasn't birthdays. It wasn't holidays. Sometimes I'd see him once, maybe twice, if I was lucky, and every single visit reminded me exactly where I stood. The rule was simple. I wasn't allowed to call him Dad. Not in public. Not around anyone. If someone asked who I was, he'd smile politely and say, "She's a friend's kid." A friend's kid. Those 3 words probably rolled off his tongue without much thought. For me, they echoed for years. As a child, you don't fully understand rejection. You just know something feels wrong. You wonder why everyone else's fathers hug them goodbye. Why yours keeps checking over his shoulder to make sure nobody's watching. You wonder what you did, even though you did absolutely nothing. The strange part? He barely talked to me, but he talked to my mom. Constantly. She'd tell me things like, "Your dad asked how school is going," or, "He said he's been really busy," or, "He misses you." At first I believed her, because kids believe adults. But eventually, I got older. I started seeing how other families worked. If someone misses you, they call. They visit. They show up. They don't send messages through your mother like they're passing notes in middle school. One day I finally told her, if he has something to say to me, he can tell me himself. She stopped bringing him up after that. Honestly, it hurt less. Silence is easier than empty promises. Years passed. I turned 18. By then I'd already accepted something that took years to understand. I wasn't his daughter. Not in the way that mattered. Biology makes someone your parent. Love makes someone your family. And I had stopped waiting for love. Around that time, tragedy hit. One of my mother's siblings passed away. The entire family gathered for the viewing. The funeral home felt unbearably quiet. The smell of flowers hung heavy in the air. People whispered. Others cried softly. Everyone seemed emotionally exhausted. Then, he showed up. My biological father. He offered condolences, spoke to relatives, then walked over to me. He asked if we could go for a drive. He said he wanted to talk. Part of me wanted to refuse, but another part wondered, maybe this was finally it. Maybe after 18 years, he was finally going to be my father. So I got into the car. For a while, neither of us spoke. The road stretched ahead. The only sound was the engine humming beneath us. Eventually, he started talking. Not about me. Not about my childhood. Not about missing birthdays. Not about introducing me as someone else's child. No. He talked about himself. He said he'd made mistakes. That he'd made choices he regretted. That life hadn't turned out the way he'd imagined. He sounded emotional. Almost broken. He kept talking. Minute after minute. It wasn't really a conversation. It was a confession. An emotional unloading. Like he'd carried guilt for years. And suddenly decided I should carry some of it too. I just listened. Quietly. Because what exactly do you say to someone apologizing 18 years too late? Then he finally reached the point. He took a breath. His voice softened. "I wish," he said, "that from now on, you'd call me Dad." Just like that. As though one sentence could erase 18 years. As though titles could be claimed on demand. As though fatherhood began the moment he decided he wanted it. I didn't answer. I stared straight through the windshield, watching the road, watching trees pass by, trying to organize 18 years of disappointment into a single response. I could feel him looking at me every few seconds, waiting, hoping, expecting. The silence grew so long that it became uncomfortable. Finally he asked, "Though, what do you think?" There are moments in life where anger disappears, not because you've forgiven someone, but because you've accepted who they are. I wasn't furious. I wasn't emotional.
I was simply finished. Without turning to look at him. Without raising my voice. I answered. "You waited 18 years." I paused. Then finished with the only words that truly fit. "You can wait 18 years. And I'll see if I let you call me your daughter." Silence. Complete silence. I didn't even need to look at him. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw his face change. His shoulders dropped. His eyes moved back to the road. He had no response. No excuse. No clever comeback. Nothing. Because for the first time, he wasn't the one deciding the relationship anymore. I was. The drive back felt longer than the drive out. Neither of us said another word. The car that had left carrying his expectations returned carrying only silence. When we got back to the viewing, he parked. I opened the door, got out, and walked back to my family without another word. There was no dramatic confrontation. No yelling. No tears. Just peace. Sometimes the strongest revenge isn't making someone cry. It's letting them feel exactly what they've spent years making you feel. Distance. That conversation happened years ago. And despite what he asked, I never called him Dad. Not once. Eventually I moved out. Started my own life. And from that point forward, I chose to have no relationship with him. Some people hear that and think it's harsh. But here's the thing. Parents don't earn the title because of biology. They earn it through countless small moments. Showing up. Protecting. Loving. Being there. Those moments can't be recreated with one emotional conversation. And they certainly can't be demanded after nearly 2 decades of absence.
Revenge doesn't always look like shouting. Sometimes it's a single sentence. A sentence that reminds someone that time only moves in one direction. Some opportunities, once lost, never come back. Respect, trust, and being called Dad are among them. If this story hit you emotionally, leave a like and subscribe for more unforgettable revenge stories. And tell us in the comments, do you think the narrator's response was justified, or would you have given him a second chance? We'll see you in the next story.